Today, we're going to find out where that feeling is the most common. We are counting down the top 5 US cities that new residents are most likely to regret moving to. Let's do this. So, right off the bat, what's your guess? What's the first city that pops into your head? Is it one of the giants on the coast, known for its insane traffic? Or maybe it's one of those boom towns that looks great on the surface but has some hidden issues? The answer, well, it might just surprise you.
Gut, hold on. Before we jump into all that regret, let's flip the script for a second. Because, to really get why a move goes wrong, it kind of helps to see what makes one go right. So where are people actually the most satisfied with their big move?
Believe it or not, the answer is Madison, Wisconsin. Yeah, you heard that right. The data shows this Midwestern city scores super high for its quality of life. We're talking beautiful lakes, a really vibrant culture, and a pretty solid job market.
But here's the thing. Satisfaction isn't one size fits all. It's not perfect for everybody. As this commenter Sean points out, if you're used to a huge city, Madison might feel, well, a little boring. It's a great reminder that one person's happy place is another person's sleepy town. Okay, so with that context, let's get to the main event. It's time for our countdown of the top 5 most regretted cities to move to in the United States, starting with number 5.
Kicking off our list is a city that, honestly, is a perfect example of the challenges facing the West Coast right now.
And that city is Oakland, California. Man, Oakland's story is just a classic tale of the affordability crisis that's squeezing so many of our coastal cities. The cost of living is just sky high. We're talking over $3,000 a month just for basic expenses. You combine that kind of financial pressure with real concerns over crime and the massive changes from rapid gentrification, and you get a place where a lot of newcomers just can't seem to make it work. And you can really feel the weight of that in the comments. One user, BWOTV, puts it so bluntly, calling it the scariest place they've ever been. That's a raw, powerful statement that really shows you the emotion behind the numbers. All right, on to number 4. This is a city that's famous for selling a dream, but for many, the day-to-day reality can be a bit of a nightmare. Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, that Vegas dream, it often comes crashing down to earth. Once you get outside the whole hospitality and tourism bubble, the job market can be surprisingly tough. And then there's the heat. That relentless desert heat is something you just can't escape. All of this leads to a pretty wild statistic. A full 20% of the city's population turns over every single year. And you don't have to take my word for it. Here it is, straight from someone who lived it. Ryder and Rizzle say they were so glad to get out. It really seems like the gamble of moving to Vegas just doesn't pay off for a lot of people.
Coming in at number 3 on our list of regrets, we head down to the Lone Star State.
We're talking about Houston, Texas. Houston is dealing with a challenge that a lot of booming Sunbelt cities are facing. The infrastructure just can't keep up with the explosive growth. The urban sprawl is legendary, which means a car isn't just a nice thing to have, it's an absolute necessity. So you're stuck in traffic. Then you add in that oppressive summer heat and humidity, plus the fact that a quarter of the city is vulnerable to frequent flooding, and you can see why a lot of new residents end up regretting the move. And for a lot of people, the deal breaker is just the environment itself. Like Juanes says here, they moved all the way from the Bay Area, and the weather was just the worst. It's a story you see over and over. People move for a job, but they leave because of the climate. All right, here we go. We are down to our final 2. The runner-up for the most regretted city to move to is a major capital of the New South. Atlanta, Georgia. Oh man, if you have ever tried to drive in Atlanta, you already know the traffic is no joke. It's legendary for a reason. But the frustrations, they run a lot deeper than that. Residents point to major concerns about crime and a really stark economic divide. I mean, a 21% poverty rate. For people moving in, that creates a social fabric that can be really, really tough to navigate. And some people, well, they don't mince words. Take this comment from Tom Bolding. Couldn't pay me enough to live in Atlanta. It's about as direct as you can get, and it really captures that deep frustration. Okay, this is it. We're at the final reveal. But before we get there, just take a second. What city did you think was going to be number 1? When you think of the tough move, what's the first place that comes to your mind? If you were thinking of one of these places, you are definitely not alone. In the comments on the source material we looked at, names like LA, New York, and Miami came up all the time. So did Dallas, Memphis, and Detroit. But believe it or not, none of them took the top spot. The time has come. The number 1 most regretted city to move to in the entire United States is Cleveland, Ohio. I'm willing to bet that's a surprise for a lot of you. It's not a coastal megacity, it's a cornerstone of the Rust Belt. So the big question is, why? Why Cleveland?
So let's break down the why. A big piece of the puzzle is the job market. A 7% unemployment rate makes things tough, especially for young professionals who are just trying to get their careers started. And while you hear about revitalization in tech and healthcare, the overall pace of the economy can feel really slow. And then there's the one thing you absolutely can't change, the climate. Those harsh, long Great Lakes winters are a major reality check for anyone not used to them.
But wait a second. This is where the story gets really interesting. Because for every single statistic, there's a person's actual experience. And you see a comment like this from Melanie, who passionately defends her city. She's talking about beautiful beaches, wineries, awesome restaurants, amazing museums. She sees a place that's just full of life and culture. And that really brings us to our final thought, doesn't it? The data tells one story, but lived experience, well, it can tell a completely different one. It really makes you ask, when you're deciding where to build your life, what actually matters more? A viral list of regrets, or that passionate local love from people who see beauty where others just see problems? That is definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us.